All I can say is that my 20 years has been nothing but sheer pleasure to be with you. And I came out to that music. I didn't feel that dancing was appropriate right now. It was more about the message that nothing's going to stop us now. But I have to remember that if I go anywhere near a dance floor like last night at the social, it's all over. It's all over the floor. But anyway, it was good. That's very emotional for me because it is something that we all strive for to make a difference. And as you grow your financial income with your own business, you also hit a time when there's far more than money that's involved. And it's about your ability to create a difference for someone, to become successful and empower them to move forward. This last 60 minutes is going to be about how can I take you to stretch yourself? How can I take you to another level so that as each day goes by and you don't think you can get through that day, you find something to take you through that day and become stronger than when you were the day before. And it was a huge topic in my own mind because a lot of people don't understand. I don't know how many of you can get down and do 100 push-ups. I don't know. If you just thought about it, maybe one or two of you. Some of you may not be able to do 5 push-ups, but I bet you could double your output within minutes by simply starting to do some push-ups, taking a rest, and do some more. You see, some of us want to do all 100 push-ups at one time, when we know we can maybe do 5 at a time, 3 at a time, 1 at a time, and do it enough times to create this massive accomplishment of 100 push-ups. Well, there are a lot of things that happen, and there are a lot of people who deserve things to happen for them, but the situation isn't quite right. So one of the things that I've done in the community that I live in is from a movie, Pay It Forward. I don't know if you've seen Timothy Green, the movie by Disney. A most heartfelt movie, guaranteed. It was about a couple who could not have children, but they had a regular sort of ceremony where they would write all the key words of a young man or a young daughter they would have and what they would become, and they would put it in the back and they'd plant it because she had a great garden. And one night, a child came out of the ground. And Timothy Green taught so many lessons. It was just very, very impactful. Very impactful for people to see and learn. In our business, there are people who deserve to be inspired, deserve to create a fire and belief that we have that. Maybe you know that. But that's why I want to recommend that all of us, as Mark said earlier, we want to make sure that if you can, maybe you should pay it forward and award somebody that you are currently recruiting that qualifies to appreciate that type of gift and bring them to World Conference. Pay It Forward was a thought, a creation on how giving we are as a Market America family to make a difference of putting somebody in that environment and allow them to dream again and support their thoughts and where they want to go. So Pay It Forward is very important. So I hope you'll remember that. Billy, do you want to come up and take this picture that you would ask for? Cheese, BV, okay. And by the way, it's an amazing thing. So let's talk about what we're doing here to take it to the limit. First of all, let's talk about some crazy limits. I think it's amazing here. Number one, how about the guy that jumped out from 24 miles up in the air? You know, what makes a person do that? It's like, did he wake up and say, I want to break the speed of sound without a car, plane, or any train or anything? And he went up into outer space and came out. I mean, that's amazing. How about this? People actually pay to go up, helicopter up on top of a mountain, to jump out of a helicopter to go down a mountain where people, they don't ski. I mean, this is amazing. What a rush. Must be an amazing rush. Why do people do what they do to take it to the limits? And I don't know about this. You've heard about rock climbing. Well, here's ice climbing. And if you notice, he's just got his spikes and his tips of his shoes and these two huge things that he's clawing up on the side. But if you notice, this is hard shell and soft shell combinations of ice climbing, meaning there's some ice and there's some loose snow. You want to make sure you put that hook in the right place. But then again, people who love to ride a bike, why in the world would you ever take it to the limit and ride the bike on a road like that? Oh my goodness. You know, but extreme mountain biking. People always want to go to the extreme. And Lord knows why. You know, this happens to be a team sport. I guess there's more than one in it. So he's not the only crazy one. But, you know, look at these things that people do. And of course, just recently, again, walking across Niagara Falls, getting in the wheelbarrow, as we talk about, going from one side to another. And I just have to look at that and say, wow, what pushes these people to the point of doing such amazing feats that give them this amazing feeling that literally inspires those people that have never had the courage or never had the ability to dream, to push themselves to a certain level of success. Now, let's make this very clear. Everything begins with dreams. Ladies and gentlemen, that's one of the qualifiers. If people can't dream, they're going to have a really hard time making goals. Can we agree on that? And you cannot begin to take it to the next level unless you have the aspirations to achieve. So don't feel bad if you approach somebody in this business and you don't get a response, because everybody doesn't have that desire to get to another level. We have to accept that. Yes, this business is built for the average person, and they can realistically and actually do what we've put in place. But they have to be in a position where they want to apply their skills to improve. It's just not for any average person. It's for the average person with the above average desire to change and improve their lives, just like you saw up there on the stage. Now, what I love most about Elizabeth and Debbie when she was up here, they accomplished this in 6 weeks or so. Ladies and gentlemen, what can we do if you decide to take it to the limits? Well, what you did, Elizabeth and Debbie, when you were up here, you stimulated the thought process of very successful people. So Lisa Lieberman-Wank came to me and says, you know, I can do that. I can do that. I can probably do it faster than Elizabeth, you know. But what is it? Taking it to the limit. They don't just want to do it, they want to do it better. It's sort of like if you ever see Ben Ginder speak on stage. He's one of the top 5 or 6 earners of the company. When Ben gets on stage, you got to just scratch your head and say, how did he ever do that? I mean, you know, he still shows the plan, but he only has 4 steps. Can't figure it out. He never figured out that there's 5. But he did figure out how to sell a ticket. All right, so yes, we do need to go to MA World Conference. We do need to go to your local seminars. It's important. It is important. Now, let's also remember positioning yourself in preparation, being in the right place at the right time. That's all in your abilities to make happen. Pushing yourself further than you thought you could go, not to the endangerment of self or others, but to a level of maximum ability. Ladies and gentlemen, you have much more than you're giving. You don't even know it. You may think you do this business all the time, and that's exactly what you do. Think you do this business, okay? And when it really comes down, I want you to be part of that $1 million club. This company was built to have millions of people because it was built on the compensation plan. And it was built so that we can maximize the payout through the success of others. Ladies and gentlemen, it would be a problem if this was a recruiting game, but it's not, because we're retail driven. Does everybody understand that? There's the logic behind it. You know, so when we look at this, look at some of the greats. A person should set goals as early as possible so that they can achieve or devote the energy and talent to get there. With enough effort, he may achieve it, or he may find something that is even more rewarding. But in the end, no matter the outcome, he will know he has been alive. So I have had people come up to me and says, last night, I'm really an executive director. I'm just not there in the BV, but I have people come up to me, my name is, and you need to, I love this, you need to remember my name because I'll be on that stage. That's what you need. That's what Walt Disney was talking about when he was talking about this. And think about this man. Only those who risk going too far can possibly find out how far they can go. Sure, your spouse may not approve at all the time you spend in this business, but maybe your spouse just don't understand what it means to you. Maybe the people around you need to respect the fact that you're willing to go out and stretch it to the limits and put more in than you put in anything in your life. This man did that. He made it. I'll tell you what, he made it. I'm proud that he made it. I may not agree with everything he does, but I'm proud of him. He's leading this country, and I believe in him. All right? Now, this author right here, love this kind of stuff. Life shrinks or expands in proportion to one's courage with the willingness to push. Holy God. Guys, since we never had a baby, we don't even know what it is to push. Okay, I'm telling you right now. But I will say this, all of us have the ability to push harder. Not in some weird way, but in the politically correct way to push harder. In respectful ways. If you irritate because it's about the person that you speak to, not about your own personal gain. You have to remember that. I love this. If things seem under control, then you're not going fast enough. And I'm going to tell you right now, this room should be spinning. This thing might take off because there's nobody slow in this room. If you're in this room and not going faster and saying to yourself, oh my God, how am I going to do all this stuff? Then you're not far enough in the game. Then you got to remember that. So you got to go fast. If we did things that we were capable of doing, we would literally astound ourselves. Now, we have so much potential. I always say man's greatest waste is that of his own human potential. I say that all the time because I see such talented people not apply themselves. That is my biggest disappointment of being your partner. When I see you, I talk to you, I see the success in your life, and damn, you won't put it against something that you believe in helping somebody else to succeed. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, what could I do? I'm one person. How can I change things? JR tells the story about the starfish. Had a little kid picking up the starfish, putting them back in the ocean. Made a difference for that one, right? You remember that story if you listen to the audios. Well, let me tell you what, after an extensive road trip of about 6 weeks, I came back from Mexico City on Monday. And I got back late Sunday night, early Monday morning, and I just needed to clear my head because I knew this event was coming up, and the worst thing I could do for you is come up here and not give you everything I had to give. So I go out, and I gotta go for a walk. I jog a little bit, I gotta blow it off. So I'm running through the neighborhood, and I see this sidewalk full of chalk, and I'm saying, those damn kids destroying property like this, I can't believe they're doing this stuff. Well, I walk and jog right over it. I look back, and for the rest of that 45 minutes, I'm thinking about that chalk. So I go back home, I get my phone, and I start to take pictures. Now, I want you to know what this sidewalk said. It said, be kind. It said, smile. It said, believe. It said, be generous. It said, friend a fool, friendly. It said, be proud. I'm thinking to myself, gee whiz, be happy, recycle, care, volunteer, be bold, and of course we know that is courage, and love, help others, laugh, shine, make a better world. All right, now, that's Brody and Michelle, 7 and 8 years old, lives down the street. Now, that changed my whole perspective, because here there is hope. When you can have, I went to the house, I knocked on the door, and I said, tell me about Brody, tell me about Michelle. And I'm gonna tell you what, they were doing something in school, and they were talking about things that could make a difference. And whoever that teacher is, I'm gonna meet. And if I'm like Elizabeth, I may recruit, okay? But I will say, ladies and gentlemen, these words were amazing words to me. And I'll tell you, we all can make a difference. Any single one of us can make a difference, because you don't know who you're gonna influence, who's gonna take it. But if you don't take it to the limit and push yourself to make it happen, when you resolute fellow steps up to the great bully of the world, and you take him on boldly when you're scared to go to approach somebody, and to his surprise, you pull it by the beard and you find that it comes off. And the truth was, it was just tied on to scare away the timid adventurer. How many people really want to know you, and how many times did you convince yourself not to approach somebody? I know we've all done it, because we just were afraid to either get the no or we knew too much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this makes a lot of sense. Now, I'm going to show you a sort of a crazy person that sort of took it to an extreme. This is when I was a little younger. This is me wrestling a bear, okay? Now, don't ask me why I did this. And you can say, but I wanted to take it to a limit. That's a 600-pound brown bear. That was in Philadelphia, and I did it for a fundraiser, but I had to be crazy when I thought about that. But again, taking it to the limit made a difference for people who paid money to see me get wiped out by the bear, okay? I did not win this, and I don't recommend it. But I learned about duplication and the power of two. And in the movie Invincible, this picture is in the Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio. And this is where, back in the day, the Philadelphia Eagles, on their resurgence to Super Bowl 15, were not supposed to beat the Washington Redskins. They were undefeated, and we had only won 2 games. And this day, we beat the Washington Redskins. And this photo is called The Last Laugh. And the reason that I say this, and it's up here, the last laugh. By you becoming a success story, you will have the last laugh on all the people that have doubted you. Doubted you, okay? Remember that. I'm gonna write a book called The Last Laugh, and you're all gonna be in it. I'm gonna tell you that. How about these dreamers? You wanna talk about dreamers? Holy cow. That was Mark Ashley right there up on stage just a minute ago. Y'all know Kevin, JR and Lauren, Joe, Marty, and that young guy in the back with some hair. I didn't realize my forehead was getting taller. Okay, now, the whole thing about this, they dared to dream and created something great. Can you imagine? Now, I'm gonna tell you something, and I'm gonna tell it straight, because why this company is so great. A gentleman by the name of Andy Webb and I toured around Australia this year, resurging Market Australia, and he was talking to me about why this compensation plan is so great. And I wanted to take a minute to just drive this home to you. You know, other companies in our industry are basically creating compensation plans around a product. They find a product, they know their margin, and they create the actual pay structure so that they can have a business. When J.R. Reininger created our binomial expansion through the Management Performance Compensation Plan, the man created the compensation plan without a product or service. He created a plan that any product or service could fit into, which would prevent any market swing from a one product-driven company. Now, I didn't even realize how ingenious his thinking was at the time. How do you really know anything that you say that's ingenious? Because if it's too ingenious, people don't believe you. Now, what is nice about this, he created a compensation plan that actually created money. It created earning potential through basically feeding it volume of products being sold and services of being sold to end consumers. So this is how it works. For those new people here, young in the business, understand the model that it was created around. Now, when we started in 1992, we started with a product brokerage company without products, and we had systems to sell them, and we started to fill the product brokerage environment. As we started to sell products, we needed a better looking environment, so we created the Mall Without Walls. It goes back to one day that he said to us, Dennis, one day we're gonna have a mall without walls, and where people could buy anything they wanted 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. And this is the time when he used to sell jewelry, not in boxes, out of his pocket with lint on it. All right, this is a man that was telling me a mall without walls that he was going to create. Well, okay, I'll give you the respect and I'll go along with this so far. You know, and the idea was we were going to create customers. And customers would be the driving force of this machine that created money. Well, we learned that all customers were not created equal, because how many have had customers that were painful to work with? Okay, all right, yeah, you know Steve, right? All right, so we decided that we were going to work with only the very best customers, and we had to learn how to teach people how to move the proverbial picket fence so that people could have a relationship and a customer that enjoyed working with you, the shop consultant. So we learned how to do one-to-one marketing. We brought in Martha Rogers from Bowling Green University, a PhD, the mother of one-to-one marketing. She taught on our stage for 3 years, teaching us how to move the picket fence, teaching us how to service our customers better. And we started getting lots of customers. We tipped 1 million customers, and all of a sudden, we couldn't remember what they wanted anymore, so we needed a damn computer to remember. So we went to the internet, and we started filing what they did. Well, holy cow, the internet was great because it would allow us to accumulate information, and it led to customization of products. So we started to customize some products, but it also allowed us to do digital marketing and surveys to provide more products to come back. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the pay plan that we have does need products that allow us to provide a retail profit. However, our customers wanted more products than we could offer through the Market America brands. So that's when we had to go to the endless shopping experience with the Mall Without Walls. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the model that was built to drive the MPCP. Now, it is about recruiting, but it is about distribution. If you recruit numbers that don't sell products, you're not going to keep filling the pump of the MPCP to put the money back into the system. So it is constantly a balance. Everyone that was on this stage that you saw with Elizabeth and Deb, they have to sell products, period. It's just not acceptable if you're not selling products. Is that correct, Steve? All right. Now, yes, this started to work, but when you step back, we weren't very good with marketamerica.com, so we went out and got shop.com, which was a bold move that all the owners of this company, we gave up our profits to put back into you and the future of your ongoing income. Now, it's hard, and I know JR owns the majority of this company, but what's to JR and what's to me, it's still big, you know? And when you're putting everything back into what you believe in, you know we're in this. We're going nowhere. We know the future is through you and providing a way for people to get above average and into 5%. So, thank you. As we summarize this, take a look. It starts with customer share. To everybody, that just means getting customers. And then it goes to work with the better customers based on whether they like the products, they like working with you. From there, it goes to provide products that customers want. That's what makes it so good with the mall without walls. We build share of customer, and that leads to more customers. This is what we have monetized, and look for quality people like you to implement this. And the object is to get hundreds, if not thousands of these within your business. That's all you're doing. You're creating lots and lots of unfranchises that have customer bases that bring goods and services to the end consumer that constantly drives the pump of money. But if you don't take yourself to the limit, folks, if you don't push yourself to do it, it's not good enough if you have 3 customers. It's just not good enough. It's not good enough if you have 6 customers. I don't care if that's not 10. Does everybody understand that? So how hard is it for you to get 10 customers and keep them? And if one doesn't buy, get a new one. It's as simple as taking one of our daily essentials kits and just commit to sell 2 a month to new people, or 4 a month to new people. You make the decision, your business. Now, from here, let's understand why Market America. Do you know the big picture? Do you understand our mission statement that we were created for entrepreneurs to create ongoing income? We were going to do it through the way that we evolve shopping, through technology and the power of people. And the best thing that I love is the loftiest goal that probably makes us insane, that we're willing to say that we'll create the economy of the future. We won't care about the governments anymore because we'll take control of our own economy. That's what it's trying to do. Now, if you learn how to sell this story, you are going to be able to attract a lot of people, because there's a lot of people, as you heard up here by one of the challenge winners saying they were just sick and tired of being sick and tired on their feet all day and not getting back what they put in. Now, when you think about that, folks, how many Americans, how many Canadians, how many Mexicans, how many Australians, how many Taiwanese, how many Hong Kongese, I'm not sure what you call Hong Kongers, all right? I guess I should leave that out of the script, huh? But the point is, how many people feel the same way? Now, it's a proven plan. We've been around. You never have to worry that this plan doesn't work. Even if you've been in the business 5 years and you're not at the $1,500 a week or $2,100 a week or $30, who cares? The only thing you didn't apply yourself. Don't get frustrated and go to those quick schemes. You're just going to dump money away. Get down and take it to the limits and do exactly what we know works. And it can be done. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have products that can change your life. We have a great online presence that's only getting better. We have positive, forward-thinking people that actually smile and enjoy life. Isn't that a beautiful thing? Come on, you gotta be kidding me. All right? Hey, if I could, I'd throw myself out there just like they do off the stage, but I know Carl, I know you catch me, but your wife is really thinking about, I don't think so. All right, now, being part of a great American success story, you know what? How beautiful was that to have a Chinese immigrant up here 9 months into the country win a challenge up here, okay? And did you notice the winning couple, and please forgive me, I forgot your name. Did you hear what he said? It says he sees like, yeah, that name. All right. He said that it seems like the people that come into the country are ready to do whatever it takes to get that done. You know what? And guess what? Guess what? Every one of you come from a different country. You just remember, you just track yourself all the way back and you ask yourself, what's the difference between this gentleman from Africa and where you came from? Whether it's Scotland, Germany, Italy, I don't care where you're from. Your forefathers and mothers, they came over to make yourselves a better life, and we got lazy in the process. You know, and it's just a matter of us taking the control back. Taking the control back. You know, we're not like anything people know or understand, okay? This is a new concept in distribution because we use multiple marketing trends. Ladies and gentlemen, if you understand what you have and if you have the ability to relate what you have, yes, we're a product broker, yes, we do internet marketing, but if you had to really take a look at it, you could sort of put together franchising cross with television shopping and online shopping, and you can even throw in catalog sales as well as direct mail. We're a piece of everything. That's how we got the name Unfranchised, because we have independent consultants, shop consultants, that have a preference in how they market. Now, the big push that we're pushing right now is social networking. Why? It allows you to leverage your time so that you can expose your business to more people. You still have to do the same work as if you called them up, okay? Now, here's the biggest thing. It is not about what one unfranchised business can do, but what hundreds can do and thousands, okay? A lot of people doing a little can create a lot of income for a lot of people. That's what we do, all right? Now, keep that in your head. Keep that in your head. Now, the desired outcome of a shop consultant, if you're going to take it to the limit, you might as well know what limit you want to push to. You're going to obtain new customers and move them to preferred customers. You're going to retain your preferred customers because you know there's a lifetime value. You'll build share of customer, and you will put your web portal as their homepage. Real simple. That's one thing that a shop consultant does. I don't think that's too complicated. Now, if you want to become a great shop consultant, you provide solutions. You make the purchase an experience. People buy and they come back because it's an experience. You follow up after purchase. You can email a friend. You build relationships. Then you teach customers how to shop and save and earn and maximize the cash back opportunity. So now you went from shop consultant to be a great shop consultant. Now, tips for becoming a great customer manager. Now you want to make the purchase process easy. I hope that you all know about iTransact. May not be able to build at the speed of light, but we encourage you to build fast and not slow. You can work to the UFO requirements, and that's where you bring in 2 people every 3 months, and you're selling a minimum of 1,200 business volume over 3 months, and you're using a certain amount of the communication tools. It's real simple, and everybody should look at it because it allows measurement for you and your team. You know, accountability and measurement are the 2 most important things that you can do when you help anybody become successful in this business. You know, people said to me, I get this problem from it goes at every level. My own team with Jim and with Kevin and Andrew and Lydia, nobody wants to give me a report. I said, well, let me know what's going on. And it's like, well, I'll give it to you. We can talk on the phone. I said, I really don't want to talk on the phone. That's more time. Just write me up the bullet points of what happened this last week. Everybody said, well, I can't do that. Come on, write them up. It's important. So I have the same thing not only in my organization, but with my own team because it's uncomfortable. Now, did you ever notice what she said up here when I said she, the Queen, Elizabeth? If you're not uncomfortable, you're not doing the business. So when somebody starts giving you some jawbone theories, why they can't give you a measurement and be accountable, then you really need to consider, are they the right person to build through? Very simple. Not that you don't love them, but if you're not willing to do the work, it's what Kevin says all the time. Success is something you have to pay for in advance, period. All right? I don't know anything else about that. That makes all the truth in the world. And guess what the payment plan is? 24 to 36 months. Okay, and then you can start experiencing. I keep reminding people, do you realize in this business, okay, before you can really come out of the ground smoking residual income, you've got to put a foundation in of people that can build out our business. And hey, the system really calls for is about $1,500 in commissions in your first year while you're building out your activity and building out your base 10-7 strong. Now, there are exceptions to that because you can build faster. But again, all of our businesses are built based on the time that you put in. But I'm saying this whole presentation is you're not putting enough time in because you're not pushing yourself to the limits of what you can do. So I'm sort of giving you an out, and then I'm going to kick you in the pants and tell you it's not good enough to take the out. It's sort of like, I love Steve. If your wife asks you, does my butt look big in this dress? Don't delay. Just say, you look awesome, okay? Same thing. If they start telling you, do I have to do this accountability? Yes. Do you want this? Do you still want to put your kids through school? Do you still want to retire your husband? Do you still want the new house? Yes. Why can't you say that? Push it. Push it. Now, knowledge is power, educational path, diversity and distribution, the power to prospect anyone you want in the overviews that we put out there. Ladies and gentlemen, the university at Market America is to simplify things, not to make you go to more meetings. You don't have to go to all the overviews. I'm going to say it again. You don't have to go to all the overviews until you're ready to go to all the overviews. Stick with your major first. Don't try to be everything for everybody. And you know what? The hardest thing in life to do is sell everything, as far as I'm concerned. All right? Because we need to gain traction. We need to see some kind of advancement, and that's why we choose a major, to get comfortable in an area that you're passionate about, that you can show that passion to people, giving them the benefits to the problems that they have, so you can be providing solutions in a better way for that person. That's all. And then add on as much as you want when you are in control. Don't let the slow start of your business dictate how many different things you've got to learn from the university. That's a wrong thought process. Okay, it's a wrong thought process. Now, everybody needs time to step back, all right? This is a fact. You are in sales, you're an entrepreneur. I'm telling you to push to the limits, but I'm also telling you you need to step back sometime to be able to catch your breath. Now, I'm just going to share where I step back and place that I go and think things through. Now, this is the road to my mountain house. This is one of the goals that I have. If you ever heard my goals, this is one of my goals that I achieved. I go here because there's only like 200 people that live in Banner Elk, so I don't have to try to recruit anybody or talk to anybody, okay? So I'm going up here, and this is the roadway that you go to my place, and you go into the driveway, the stone driveway, and you turn around, and the first thing you see as you go in there is this big rock. This rock is like 4 of me, and the guy that built my house, I said, why is that rock there? He says, well, that reminds me of you. I said, John, that's really good. Thanks, I appreciate it, but what do you mean? He says, you've always been so positive in building this project. This house took 18 months to put up there. And he says, you've been good, and you're the reason that we continued. I was the first house on this mountain. Now, I bought this 10 acres before there was a road, okay? And I never went to the mountains my entire life. So don't ask me why I went here. But for some reason, I know why, JR said I should buy 10 acres on this mountain. The only problem is he bought and he didn't build. I bought and I built. All right, so anyway, so now here it is. This is 4 feathers. I named it 4 feathers because I have 2 daughters, a wife, and myself, and feathers are related to different energies and things that I have faith in. Now, the thing that I see when I come here is a place where I can relax, all right? And, you know, I've got beautiful places, beautiful views. This is my deck. I have a hot tub there. I can overlook the Appalachian Mountains. I'm at 5,000 feet elevation. It snows there when it doesn't snow on the ground. There's ski resorts around it. It's just awesome. And I take off every morning and walk. I have a walking stick, so if the bear comes back, I've got something to defend myself. I never want to do that again in my life. That's the problem when you're young and you think you can do anything. So those are some of the views that we look like, and it's just amazing. 8 different mountain ranges fall off of that house. That's my wife, Nancy. She doesn't like me to put this out here, but she's been the blessing behind me to keep moving. And she always makes sure my home is right when I go home, all right? She's a good girl. We have coffee, and I got a rocking chair. I do, because part of my goal statement is someday have grandchildren and put them on my knee to bounce them and tickle their bellies to make sure they laugh. You know, nothing's better than a little kid laughing, you know? All right, so anyway, so I go up for my walk, so I go out on the road again, and I go up, and I go off into the mountains, all right? And I start walking all these paths, and I don't know where I'm going, and I certainly have a poor sense of direction. I have no idea, no clue, and if I ever was out in the dark, I could never find my way back, all right? But I find going out into the wilderness really opens up my mind. You know, how do I recharge, refresh, be able to give more to the people that have followed me in my organization, to you? And you know what? I see on these paths some very rough roots and holes and full of obstacles, and it reminds me of what we do in our life. You know, it's a beautiful place, but there's a trap everywhere around it. There's something you can trip over, fall into, twist an ankle, whatever. But for those of you that walk through those areas and get through them, there's something beautiful. All right, this happens to be what I call meditation rock. I sit on this rock and I look out there. Sometimes, if I'm lucky, I'll have a bottle of wine with me, but it worries me because it's a very long drop off there. And if I look to the right, it's just more. I mean, now I'm going to tell you what, I'm getting chills right here because this is where I'm going to go tonight. I'm going to drive in my car and I'm going to go up there and spend this week and wind down. But when you think about this, when you think of the beauty and the vastness and how big this world is, how can one of us make a difference? We can. 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. You've heard that, all right? You've heard that. Ladies and gentlemen, now, I'm walking back to the house, right? Here I am. I'm now like, you know, I don't know what I am. I got this high mountain altitude thinking going on. And I'm walking down, and we have these beautiful stone walls. And I said, you know what? That's an interesting thing. That's very interesting. I said, there's a director. There's Elizabeth. There's a super director. That's a big rock. And I see all these other rocks. There's like a national, there's professional, there's distributors and all that. Oh, a little bit further down, I see Steve Harris. Look at that other big rock down there. And I'm seeing this and how strong this northeast region has become. Lu Minh, Amber Yang. All right, does everybody understand this? And all those strong rocks in between that are getting bigger and bigger. They're actually building something very strong that will last for generations, all right? So I stop and I look at this big rock. I said, damn, Elizabeth. How do we get more of you? And you know what, you sort of answered my question when I was thinking that by what you did. What you did is Elizabeth said, this is either gonna be good or this is gonna be bad. How many of you think it was good what she demonstrated up here, huh? All right, now, all I'm saying is that if you get enough of rocks around you, you're going to become a very big rock. And that dependency is going to be there for you. You will become a staple of the community, and you will be the person that people look to for reassurance. I'll still never forget how, to this day, I still get calls. Some people just need to call me and say, hey, Dan, is everything okay? I said, yeah, everything's great. Tell me about your best approach this week. You know, I mean, they just need reassurance. And the big rocks out there, all of you directors and above you, future directors, you must become big rocks, because it is all the little rocks that support you and keep you in place. And it's your obligation to keep them together with you. And that's some of the responsibilities that we don't want to forget. Ladies and gentlemen, as a big rock or a future big rock, you can never stop leading by example. You cannot stop. It's not fair. You got too much to give. I know we sold you the dream, make the amount of money, live the rest of your life, you know, however you want. Hey, this is fun. What we do is fun. And we get tired and we take a break, but guess what? We got to do it some more. And you know, you may not agree with me because I see this as something bigger than a business. But when you hold in your hands that when you succeed, you inspire, encourage other people who thought they never could because of your own story. Do you understand what that means? I don't know. Now, when we leave here, we're going back to the same old humdrum world. But I got to tell you right now, you can make a difference. There are views out there for you to think about. Change your life, do things different, and you can do it, and you have to remember that. Now, keep trying, stay humble, trust your instincts. Most importantly, when you come to the fork in the road, take it. Now, for those of you that it might have went over your head, that's sort of like my mug rump. If you ever heard that, I talk about the guy that sits on the fence and won't make a decision. He's got his face on one side and his rump on the other. And sometimes you got to just knock him off the fence. But if you get to the fork of the road, take a direction. You can always adjust the direction. What you can't adjust is not making the decision to go left or right. So take one. Take one. All right, take one. Oh, this guy was a great guy. I'm inspired. Ha! What's your limit? In this room, we got some wild people that's taken to the limit. You know, Lou Min came up to me after she came off the stage. She ran over, she gave me a big hug, smile from ear to ear, just so proud that all of her team is here and coming together. Amber's there, Elizabeth, Steve. You know what, folks, this is the reward. These are people that have taken it to the limit, and they're in your communities. I mean, I look at Kathy Schindler Brown. She's on our team, and I'll tell you what, she has always been the pace setter in my organization, but her pace is like a mile ahead of the rest of us. We just see your dust. You know, she's going so fast. And the beautiful thing about it, she just keeps going, and we keep trying to catch up to her. And that's a beautiful thing. Now, you got to understand that every one of us have that ability to pick up the pace. The whole purpose is what I'm talking about is what? Take it to the limits. Take it to the limits. Push you farther than you can. Wendy and Joe, take it to the limits. Right? You gave up your house in Florida to come back up here to get New Hampshire and Vermont going. So get it going. Just do it. I mean, we talked about it last night. You know, but I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call you out, Joe and Wendy, but I got to say this. I feel this way. I mean, I feel like we're in the locker room. I feel we're ready to go for a championship. And that's where I want to really talk about. And I sort of want to remind everybody that as I go into this, I just want to give you an experience of the NFL pregame going out. I want to talk to you a little bit about what the coach talks to the players about. And I want to bring this into a very sweet finish for you because I want you to know what you'll need to give to your own people. And so here we are, Dick Vermeil, great coach. He would never ask us to do something that he wouldn't do himself. All right? He would run sprints with us. He would be there when we were in the weight room. He would be there if we lost. He would be there if we won. He would do the things necessary. He did the things, he even put a keg of beer in the locker room when he thought we weren't close enough. He says, I want you guys to drink together. I'm not going to tell you that, but the point is, what do you do to bring your team together? You remember yesterday? As a team, big part of effective duplication. You're either pulling people together or you're pulling them apart. Does everybody understand that? So now, let's do a pregame talk. And the first thing that you always do before you go out on the field, you start with the end in mind, and you want to start with the fact that we are going out to win a game. All right? We are going out to create residual income so that our families and so that I can have and you can have everything you've ever dreamed of, no matter what it was. We have a plan to get there, and we have a plan that by winning will help us get a step closer to where we want to be. We are going to go out there with a plan of action. You've studied your playbooks. You know what has to be done, and you got to continue to keep your eye on the big picture. The big picture comes February 3rd in the Super Bowl for us, but the big picture for you is the day that you fire your boss. The big picture to you is when you have $1 million cash in your account. The big picture to you is when you've put out 4 more directors in your organization. That's the big pictures that you have to have. Now, in addition to that, we are going to be consistent with what we do. We block, we tackle, we've got to do it daily. You're going to be a UFO. All of you are unfranchised owners, and you got to do what unfranchised owners do. You got to be consistent. You've got to continue to qualify and re-qualify the entire game. Nobody quits on the field. You're not going out there to give me a half a game. I need a full game. I need a full season. Don't give me it. All right? We worked too hard to get here. And we're going to leverage each other because we're strong, and we're strong as our weakest link. And we're going to use the tools that we have. And in our case, we'll use Market America University because they'll teach us how to build a business. They'll teach us about our products. They'll give us the confidence to go out there and do that, just as your teammates do, side by side, doing their job as they go out to make things happen. Now, we are going to leverage everything we have. We're going to run more outside so it opens up the inside. We'll throw some early passes so that the holes open up, they'll loosen up, and we'll be able to run between the tackles. Same thing here. We will bring people, bring their interest with our portal. They will love our internet technology, and then we will take them to sell BV products as well as IBV products in the whole process. It is about retailing, folks. It's retailing, expanding distribution. It's blocking, it's tackling, it's running, it's catching passes. It's what it takes to win. It's what we work for. That's why we're here. So now we play the game, and we're in first 2 quarters, so we come in halftime. Coach is trying to stay real cool about this because we're not where we think we should be. We're a little bit behind. We're not ahead of the game. Okay, guys take care of their business. They all come back together in the room, and the coach comes back out and says, okay, we didn't accomplish everything we set out to in this first half. However, we're going to stay in control and keep with the game plan. We're going to keep with our unfranchised business, proven systems, and we're going to do a better job in implementing it. That's the most important thing that we can do. You know your plan, so we're going to stick with it. You have fed your plan, and you're going to do it, and you are going to be a leader and take the personal responsibility and action to grow. You are going to give the example for your teammates. I'll give you a story. Washington Redskins, we're down by 18. I'm a special teamer. My players are playing terribly. You know what a kickoff is? They blow the whistle, and they come up and kick the ball, and then people run at each other. It's like a car wreck happens. Well, anyway, we needed to start a fight. Okay, so the whistle blows, and I'm on the offensive side. I run 10 yards off sides, and I hit somebody before the play starts. Immediately, a fight breaks out. I get fined $5,000 for promoting violence. My team comes all together to my side, and we only lose by 1 point. And we were down by 3 scores. The point was somebody has to do something different, and when we go out from this halftime, you will do something, you will make the play. I want a return. I want an exceptional second block. I want a good pass and catch. No excuses. I know it's raining, but just catch the damn ball and run. All right? Now, we're going to use the NMTSS events to build from event to event. We're going to go first down to first down to first down until we're in the red zone, which means we're within the 20-yard line, and then we will go to score. We're going to go event to event by buying tickets in advance, and we do not miss an event. Not if you want what you want, not if you want a championship. You're going to build fast, and we're going to go and go and go and not slow. And you know, the only thing I can tell you there is that we've got to take this to heart because it's no use me talking about it if you don't do it. So we got to prove ourselves and get out there. You know, if you don't ASK, you don't GET. If you don't ask, you don't get. If you don't go out and bring the game to the other team, you're never going to win. So ladies and gentlemen, we're going to make this adjustment. So, one last thing before we go out. We're going to win together and we're going to lose together. But whatever it is, falling is not failing when you get back up. Falling is not failing when you get back up. If we got to make a sideline change, we'll do an audible. If one approach isn't working, we'll try another. If the referral approach isn't working, we'll go to the direct approach. If the direct approach isn't working, we'll go to the evaluation. We will call enough audibles until we get the first down and make it happen. Now, we're going through the game. Game's over. First thing, we come back together. First question the coach always asks, are you satisfied with your game and with your performance? And everybody has in their own minds, if you win, we're all satisfied. If we lose, we're not satisfied, okay? Now the point is this, we ask that, and I want you to ask yourself every day, are you satisfied with your performance to take your business to where you set your goals? You have to answer that, I can't, all right? We do have some more fundamental things to work on. We have to do a better job in selling products. We have to do a better job in prospecting. We got to do a better job in showing the plan. We got to do a better job in follow-up, all right? But we'll measure and monitor and adjust. We'll figure out the right thing, and we will get better. I assure you, team, we will get better. What you gave me today on the field was good, but you can be better. But I assure you, if we work together and we put the time in, it's going to be better. But I want you to be grateful that we've come together. I want you to be grateful for this opportunity, because together we've made a difference for many people in this arena. For you, I want you to be grateful for us coming together to see so many people that care about one another and making a difference. I want you to be thankful for your organization, for the organization of Market America. Just as this franchise has been here, we are the same way. We need to be grateful that we have this opportunity. No, we're not the owner of this company. No, you're not the owner of the team. But as players, we can create whatever amount of money we want based on our own performance. We don't have the overhead of the team owner or the company owner. We have no liabilities except our own performance. And that's why you should be very grateful for what you have, and that's why you should be thankful for your organization. That's why we thank one another when we come together, and that's why we shed a tear when we see success on this stage, because we know what it went through. But at the end, when you all put it together, I want to reassure you, we will get better. I want to tell you that we will get stronger, and I'm going to tell you that we'll become more consistent, because consistency and repetition leads to greatness. It will lead to everything that you want, okay? And finally, when we put it all together, we will be champions, all of us. We will be champions. Thank you. Now, the only thing I can tell you now, it's up to you. I know that I'm going to see many of you in Miami. Can't wait for that opportunity. It's going to be amazing. But take it to the and make the difference. I want to thank you for all the attention you gave me. I want to thank you for all the support you've given Market America. From JR, from Lauren, from Marty, Mark, Joe, Kevin, myself, your executive team. We appreciate you. We don't take you for granted. And we promise that we will do the things necessary to make this and keep this strong so that this can be passed on for generations. Thank you very much.